so excited to finally be reading some of my most anticipated book in my TBR. One of them is literally Book Tag Empire, and if you thought of Powerless, you are right. You are completely right. I have heard wonderful things about this, and I know Payton and Kai is supposed to be like in game, and I know they are also enemies to lovers, and a fantasy always do it for me. So I'm quite excited to read this. I know he's a prince, but she's like a thief, ordinary thing, and I also think there's something, I don't know. I want to go into it blind actually. This next one is actually new in my collection, but I have been wanting to read it because one of the creators that I follow, Book by Bree, talks about this book, and literally when I saw her talk about it, I was like, oh, I have to have this book in my collection. I know she is a siren and also like a soldier, and I know there's a prince involved, and I think maybe her and the prince fall in love, but I think she was meant to unalive the prince. I don't know every single thing about it, but I know that I'm excited to read it. The last book is The Serpent, the Wings of Night. I have been wanting to read this book, but I was actually quite scared to read this. I've had this since May of last year, but I was afraid to read it because I was like May and June, July of last year, that's when I started reading fantasy, and I felt like I was too much of a beginner in fantasy for me to pick this book up, because look at this cover and like, does it not scream dark magic and dark fantasy for you? So every time I look at it, I'm like, I might be too much of a beginner, and I felt like I wouldn't understand what was going on, so I saved it, and now I feel like I understand fantasy just a little bit more. I feel like I'm maybe in grade 6, you know, like in June, July, May of last year, I was literally a beginner, like 1, but now I think I will say I'm in grade 6, so now I understand the world building. It takes a while to understand the world building, so we are going to read this one, and we are actually starting with this one. The adopted human daughter of the nightborn vampire king. She's adopted in a world that wants to kill her. She wants to belong, so it sounds so good. I just hope the world building, everything is not too much for me to understand. I'm in part 2. Part 2 is called Full Moon. I already have a favorite character, and he is the like adopted father to Oriah. I'm hoping this is how you say her name, like it's spelled like that, Oriah. He is so caring towards her, and I'm just like, God, please don't let anything happen to this man. He's literally like the most powerful like nightborn king, so I'm thinking that maybe nothing is going to happen to him, but I'm just like, I love him too much for anything to happen to him, because then I won't be okay. Like, that's all I've read, but it's just giving the perfect father and daughter relationship, and the fact that like he adopted her, he brought her into his world, and I'm like, that's so cute. Like, that is so cute. He's worried about her, and like she's training for this thing, and he's like worried, and he's just like very scared, and he's training her hard. Just so nice so far. This has been taking over my life for the past 3 days, and I feel like if I were to sit down, if I had like free time and I sat down, I would have finished it in 1 day, you know. But I'm almost done. I'm in chapter 44. I'm almost done. But I feel like if you love for friends, you're going to love this book. I don't know if anyone ever said that, probably, but if no one has ever said it, if you love for friends, I really feel like you're going to love this. Not the whole story, not the whole like romance part, but just the concept of it. This follow Oriah. I think I used, like, in the beginning I call her Oriah, but it's actually Oriah. I got the audiobook. She is a human in the world of vampire. When she was really young, her father Vincent went and he saw her, adopt her, brought her to his home, and just kind of raise her as his own. But she knows she's adopted and she knows she's human, but he trained her to fight, and you always tell her you always have to be better because she's a human in a world of, you know, a vampire. She is a prey. She's been living in this world for her whole life. That's all she knows. That's where she wants to belong. That's where her father knows. She decided to enter this tournament that their gods hold every 100 years, and if you win that tournament, you actually end up winning a wish. And she wanted to actually enter the tournament, and so she did. The tournament is not easy. It is very action-packed. I went into it thinking it was like, oh, it's probably going to be a little bit. It is not. It is not. And she already at a disadvantage. She's human amongst all these vampires, and her smell alone could get her killed. This is why, I kid you not, I think she's one of the strongest like female character I have read, because she was so resilient, and the way she was just slaying every little thing. I'm just like, I'm so proud of you. I love reading how her mind worked and how she thinks. And Vincent trained her so well. Like the whole time, I'm just like, I love their friendship. Their little like friendship, like fatherly daughter friendship. And I'm just like, I really truly love them. Like I can't. I was in the like blindfold, like yes, I was rooting for this girl like she was actually alive. I mean, she is in my head. I truly very much love this book. I love this world. I love the way the author makes you fall in love with the world. I was like, this has been taking over my life and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. This is what I wanted. But this is a romance fantasy actually. She ended up being alive with somebody. The love interest, his name is Ren, and they are cute. They are cute. The banter is cute. It's basically like enemies to lovers, but the enemy part comes from her because she's human, he's vampire. Like this is not gonna work. They are cute, but it's like, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I'm sorry, I don't trust him. I just feel like he's playing her. Something happened where like I was like, this don't sound good. Why did you do that? She was going somewhere. This man followed her. And he was just like, oh, I thought when you leave in the middle of the night, you go to see your father. And I was just like, well, why would you follow? If you know she's going to see her father, why would you want to see that? Why would you want to hear the father-daughter talk? And that's when I said, oh, I don't trust you. I have in my notes, why do I think this man is going to do that? I can't say it, just in case I'm right. You know, I don't want to say it, but I was like, I truly don't think this man. Trust him. Are they cute? Yes. Are they making me smile? Yes. Do I trust him? No. I don't trust him. But I'm in chapter 44. Well, I wish that I still was recording when I called my husband about this book. I called this man crying. Like I was in tears crying because something happened in this book. Something that I know was going to happen and I understand why it had to happen. I just wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. And so when it happened, I was just like, my God. And the way that it happened had me in tears. I was broken. I was shattered. I called my husband crying. I started explaining this man this whole entire book, like plots, like scenes by scene. I started explaining to him and he's just like, do you want to just like stop because you're crying a lot? And I'm like, no, I don't want to stop. Of course I'm not going to stop. Even though I'm in pain and I should probably stop, I'm not going to stop. I need to finish it so I could know what's going on. 5 wonderful, well-deserved 5-star. I am so angry but happy that I like waited so long for me to read this because like it really honestly it was not difficult for you to understand, but I'm happy that I waited because then I have like 11 months for me to keep talking about this book. Like if I read it last year, I wouldn't have like the whole year to talk about it, but I have 12 months for me to keep saying this was the best book I've read this year. It's now engraved, you know, in my brain. But later today, lunchtime, we are going to start. Hold on. We're going to read this later today around lunchtime, and we'll see. But right now, I do have to go to work, so give me a minute. I'm going to say that, but I'm done. I finished this. I started this around lunchtime yesterday. Yeah, it was lunchtime, and it was I think I looked up, I was like in page 240. I kept going, looked up, it was 7 p.m. and I finished it. 4-star, 4 wonderful star. I am waiting for the next book for me to see if it's going to be a 4.5 or 5-star. But in this book, our main character name is 𝐒𝐤𝐤. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. Every single time that I go on book talk, I feel like everyone says her name differently. But like one that I see that most people say is 𝐒𝐤𝐤. She is a siren. In the world she's living in, sirens are actually prohibited. She's not supposed to be in the world. She is not supposed to be here.
She doesn't even go here.
It's illegal to be a siren. But she disguised herself as a non-magical fae in order for her to leave to be safe and sound in this world. In this world, we have fae, and there's different type of fae. There's air fae, water fae, some other different type of fae. But I remember water fae and air fae, and then there's witches and then human. She's not supposed, like I said, she's not supposed to be in here, so she disguised herself as like a non-magical fae, and she kind of have a mark in her face to like hide her beauty. She's also in school, and the school that she is in is basically like a military school thing, as like when you graduate they put you in this like base to serve and stuff. But when she's not in school, this is where the plot gets a little bit interesting. When she's not in school, when she's not training, she is an assassin. She's an assassin, and she does that job very well because of her beauty. Like when she is unaliving people, she's not in disguise. She's her true self, and we know, we've heard the like tales of sirens and mermaids. They are beautiful creatures. They are stunning, wonderful, remarkable. I feel like I would just use one word that means all of that, but like I'm trying to emphasize on how beautiful she is. She is a beautiful, stunning, remarkable creature. So when she's not in disguise, the men are enthralled. They go to her and she sings the song and just put them to sleep and never waking up sleep. But that's what she does as a side horse. So she doesn't know who she works for. She doesn't care really. She just gets a name and sing them to sleep. You just never wake up from your sleep. But in the school, she actually graduated. She actually got the highest rank in her school. So she got a job offer to go serve in a palace, which she declined because she doesn't love the people in the palace. She doesn't love the king, the queen, the prince, until her little sister, who is so freaking adorable, Rain, actually got a letter that threatened them, and she like realized that the person who sent the letter blackmailing them actually used a stamp from the palace. And so she goes back and asks for the job back, and guess who's there? The prince. Hayes. So she's now the prince's bodyguard, but it gets a little bit more complicated because the prince is not the arrogant, annoying, stupid prince that she thought that he was. He's actually really nice. He's caring, he's cute, and he makes it impossible for her to hate him. He makes it so impossible. And she's just like, why do you do this? Why do you make it so impossible for me to hate you? And it's just so freaking adorable. And that's why I'm just like, oh my god, I wish this is YA. They're both 17, and I'm like, I wish this was not like a YA, because I'm just like, I want a never ending deep relationship, but I'm not expecting nothing because they are 17. Like I'm expecting completely, absolutely zero, nothing in this. But I'm like, it would have been so great if they were YA though. It would have been perfect. It gets a little bit more complicated because the prince's best friend ended up being dead, and the prince asked her to help him find the killer. Who is herself? The killer is herself, and she's looking for someone who does not exist. It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler, I promise. It's in the synopsis. So that's a little bit funny, and then some twists and turns. More things happen when she has to protect the prince, but it basically means like protecting the prince means that she's also protecting the king and the queen who she hates, and is a really good valid reason why she hates them. And so it's just like, ugh, I don't care to do this. It is so very good. The writing, the banter between her and the prince, it is so stinking cute, and I love it. And I was smiling, and I was just like, this is so cute. And but it's just like, you know, when you have little questions, and it's like, I want to give you a 4.5, but like I have so many questions in my head, and I want them answered first before I could go 4.5 or 5 star. That's what happened. But I highly very much so recommend it. I think it was such a good book for a beginning of like a series. I think it was really good. I really truly like it. But we are going to start TikTok empire, and that is Powerless. I am expecting nothing but a 5 star from this because the amount of craziness like reviews this book has, I'm expecting 5 star. Of course I'm expecting a 5 star.